Hey class, so we're going to start off with where we left off yesterday. You should have your saved storm drain plan, your 11 by 17 sheet, your information about your sheet title, your name, your project title, your name, your sheet title, and the date this is due should be at the bottom. You should have your drafting view dragged onto here, and you should have a couple reference planes in there, although we're going to go over making those again. So to enter this view, I double click. I'm going to bring an image of all of our reference measurements right into here so that I can see them at the same time. So I'm going to go up to Insert and then click on Link Image. Here I'm going to navigate to my downloads. If you're not already there, it's usually under my computer. And I'm going to place in my storm drain image. And make this a little bit smaller just so it doesn't take up the whole sheet. Okay. So we already have in a few of these lines. I can dimension them. So if I go to annotate, this first one that says aligned, I can click, or I can type in DI. And then let's just double check. Okay, so this one is 6 inches, awesome. And this one is 2 foot 8 inches. So we're doing pretty well. I want to get in 2 more reference planes to help us right away. So the first one is going to be this 66-inch one. So I'm going to come from this line, come up 66 inches. So I'm going to copy the bottom, type in CO, click this, hover upwards, make sure it's straight, and type in 66, quotation marks for inches, and hit enter. The next one I want to hit is where the center of the circle is. So I know from the 32-inch line, which is this one, my circle diameter is 21 inches. I really want the circle radius, so radius is half of diameter. So if I do 21 divided by 2, I can get what that radius is. 20 divided by 2 would be 10, so 21 divided by 2 is going to be 10 and a half. So I'm going to take this, CO for copy, click it, hover down, type in 10.5, and then inches is going to be shift apostrophe to get those quotation marks, hit enter. Just double check that. Yeah, okay. So now I'm going to make my circle. So if I go to annotate, detail line, you'll notice under the draw section here, you can grab a circle. So I can click my circle. I'm going to click on the center point here and then come out to that line, and there's my circle. So that's my storm drain, just to get us oriented a little bit. The next thing I want to look at is here. So this whole little area is a little bit tricky. We're going to assume these are at 45 degrees, which may not be exactly right. They could be slightly different, but I think that will help us draw the rest of this. So to start with, we need a reference plane or a line that is 45 degrees from the center line. So let's do a reference plane. So I'm going to type in RP for reference plane. I'm going to click right at that 60 line, and you'll notice that as I move this line around, it's going to tell me how many degrees it's at in the blue. So I'm going to hover until I get to 45, and it should kind of snap to that, and I'm going to bring that line straight out. Okay, escape. Okay, I'm going to make one more. So I'm going to click here. And here it's measuring from this other side. So it's going to be at 135 that you want it. So you'll notice like there's that extra blue line that comes up, the extra dash blue line at 135. So I'm going to come out this way, make sure I see that, and click. Okay, let's draw in a few more lines. So you'll notice that from this line, we're saying the curb is 60 inches this way. So let's get in that line. So I'm going to type in DL. And everything right now I'm doing is in thin lines because it's all in elevation. I don't think anything is necessarily more important. I think we might change 1 or 2 lines later, but for now, keep everything in thin lines under line style. Line style is where you change your line weight. So I'm going to click on here. I'm going to click on my center point, hover over the reference plane I've made, and I'm going to type in 60 and then inches and hit enter. Okay, going the other way, so starting here again. This one is only 57 inches, so I'm going to click here. I'm going to come out 57 inches and hit enter. Okay, so I know that between those 2 points, there's like a rounded curve made, so I'm going to use those 2 points to get that curve. And actually, maybe for a minute, I'll make these darker just so you can see them, because they're not really showing up that dark. I'm change them to wide lines just so you can see all this stuff for now. Okay, so if I go back to detail line, I'm stay at thin lines. I'm using wide lines just so you can see it a little better. I'm going to click on this star end radius arc. I'm going to click on here, click on this end arc, and notice it's not exactly even, and that's okay. And then I'm going to click on that point where I know the curve ends. And that's going to be that curve right there. Okay, so then I want these lines to continue out. So I'm going to go to detail line. And here I'm just going to let that curve continue. So I'm just continuing that line. You'll notice it kind of snaps when it turns blue. That's the continuation of that line. And actually that, we only need to go at 17 inches. Let me fix that. So I'm going to get that line. Put this way, so wait until it turns blue, so it's the continuation of that curve. Type in 17 inches and hit enter. This other way, it looks like it's going to be 14 inches, so wait till it turns blue, type in 14 inches and hit enter. That looks a little bit more curved to me than maybe it was in real life, so this might flatten out more. It might not be a perfect arc here. I think I might change those. So let's change this measurement to be 90. Nope, let's change that measurement to be, let's try 75. Okay, let's do 75 for that. That looks like a little bit more reasonable. And then here, let's click on that. And then when I click on the blue, so anytime I want to change a measurement, you click on here. And if there's a blue measurement, you can change it. So I'm going to click on here and type in 75 and hit enter. And that just looks like a little bit closer to what I remember it being in person. So because this is like kind of a funny shape, it's a little bit harder to measure, and we may not have every single measurement we need to get it perfect. Okay, now we're going to use our offset tool to get this, this offset curve here. So to get our offset tool, you go to annotate, and then we need detail lines. You click on detail line, and then over here under modify, you can click on this one, offset. You could also type in the shortcut OF. So I'm going to come over here where it says offset up on this top bar and change this amount to 6 inches. So 6 quotation mark, hit enter. And then when I hover over the line, I'm just hovering over right now. If I hover to one side, it'll offset to that side. Hover to this side, it'll offset to this side. We want to hover to the inside and click. Same thing over here. Hover to the inside and click, hover to the inside and click. I'm now going to bring these lines down in line weight because they don't need to be that thick. So to select more than one thing at a time, you can click on that and then hold down Control and click on the next things. So once I have those all highlighted, I'm going to notice this Modify Lines that comes up. I'm going to click on the down arrow under Line Styles and change this to Thin Lines. Same thing for these two. So I'm going to highlight them so I can get Control to add 2 lines at once and change them to Thin Lines. I might change this to a medium line. So I'm going to select this, change this to a medium line. So notice I have 3 alignments. I have my outside, which is my curve, my like outside of my curve where the street's here. I have this, which is the inside outline of my curve, and I have the medium line for my storm drain. Okay, so far we have like everything in here done. We still need to draw this shape out here. And these shapes that are here to finish off. So to get this one, we're going to offset this 652 inches. So we're going to, or maybe we'll just copy it over. Let's try copying it. Let's get the dimension copied over, and then we'll come over 38 inches. So we're going to come over 52 inches and then 38 inches. So I'm going to go to my annotate tool, get my detail line. I'm going to change this back to thin line. So starting here, I need click on this endpoint. You'll notice like when you hover over that endpoint, it's going to turn purple, have that little box. And click on there. I'm going to come inwards over this line. It should be blue, and I'm going to type in 52 inches. And hit enter. That should give me this endpoint right here. I then want to come out from here. And you'll notice that like it's going to snap towards 90. So try to get it to snap to 90. It should have that little blue dotted line following it when you're at 90. And it should say 45 from the horizontal. So here I'm going to have this come out 38 inches. So type in 38, get the apostrophe, hit enter. And then this line, if you'll notice, is connected to this other line. So I'm going ahead and draw that in. So that one looks pretty angled, right? Like it goes from 17 inches to 38 inches. So that's like a pretty angled piece of pie. And you'll notice like this is not drawn to scale. And in real life, this was much more angled than the other one. Okay. So you'll notice though also like right now this line doesn't extend to this one we want it to. To fix that, let's see. To fix that, if I type in DL again, there's a bunch of tools under modify that might be useful to us. So this one's the align tool, offset tool, mirror tool. We are looking for the extend tool. So this one, trim or extend multiple extent. So I'm going to click on that. I can click on the line I want this to extend to and then click on that line and it'll finish off there. Okay, so we did this side pretty well. Now we need to do this other side. So I type in DL again. Starting here, I'm going to come over 49 inches, hit enter. Then I'm going to find that endpoint, come straight this way, and this should say 135 up at the top from horizontal. And I'm going to have this come out 20 inches and hit enter. Okay, and then I'm bringing that back to connect to that. And notice that side is much less slopey, and that's how it was in real life too, so that's fine. I'm now going to extend this to here. So if I come over to my modify panel, I'm going to click on this one, trim extend single element, click on the line, click on that line, and that should finish off that shape. Okay, so we are getting close to done. We still need to finish off this little area. So this was not like a scored crack in the concrete. This was just a crack that developed over time. But these are scored lines that we want to get in there. So this is 82 inches, this one's 81 inches. So I'm going to go back to annotate, detail line, click on thin line, click on here. I'm going to hover over so that it should be aligned with the line that's already there. It'll turn blue if it's lined up. And then I'm going to type in 81 inches, hit enter. And then same thing over here, click on here, follow that blue line coming up. And I'm going to type in, this one looks like it's 82 inches and hit enter. So this at the top looks kind of different than where it is.